This is a pond. This is a stream. This is a lake. This is a marsh. This is a bay. And this is a great lake. All of those magical places that we just visited in nature all have fresh water. Fresh water is the kind of water that you and I use when we take a drink of water, when we take a bath and wash our hair and brush our teeth, when we wash our clothes. It's all fresh water. And the biggest place to find fresh water is a Great Lake. We have 5 Great Lakes in our country. Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Lake Superior. I'm here in Lake Erie, and I want to share a story with you that tells you a bunch of fun things you can do when you visit a lake. It's called All Aboard Great Lakes. All Aboard the Great Lakes by Kevin and Haley Myers. Watching the ships go up and down in Lake Superior. Picking cherries with our friends in Lake Michigan. Sailing past the Windy City in Lake Michigan. Searching for long forgotten treasure in Lake Erie. Bicycling along the lake in Lake Huron. Hoping for a bite in Lake Superior. Looking out over the bluffs in Lake Ontario. Kayaking around the coves of Lake Michigan. Listening to the roaring waterfall of Lake Erie. Here's a map of all the lakes. Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Lake Superior, the largest of the 5 Great Lakes. Here's a Great Lakes Seek and Find. All these fun things to do are hidden in the book somewhere. I thought it'd be more fun if we went on a real seek and find around the lake. Let's do it together. You can ride bikes. You can sail on a boat. You can live on a houseboat. You can have lunch at a picnic table. You can visit a lighthouse. You can ride a jet ski. You could go fishing on a boat. Watch the ships pull into the shipyard. You can walk along the shore with your family and friends. Come on, guys. Oh, look how pretty. You can collect sea glass at the beach. Another great thing to do when you're down by the lake is to relax and meditate, maybe read a good story. So I'm going to read you a story today called Peaceful Piggy Meditation. And meditation is when you take time out from each day and you breathe. Can you do it, girls? And you close your eyes and relax, and you try to clear your thoughts of all the things that you did in the day that made you feel a little bit crazy inside. So let's try to do it together, shall we? Curl up with your favorite stuffed animal and join us. Do you have yours? Mm-hmm. Would you like to hold Peaceful Piggy? Okay. Peaceful Piggy Meditation. by Carrie Lee McLean. Sometimes the world can be such a busy, noisy place. Sometimes it feels like all you have to do is hurry, hurry, hurry. Sometimes it's hard not to lose your temper when you're angry. And sometimes you get really frustrated when things don't go your way. So it's good to have a peaceful place inside. And it's good to meditate and take a break and find a quiet spot and breathe, breathe, breathe. I will say that feels good. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Ah, that feels so nice. Mom or Dad can help you find this special place. Because peaceful piggies can sit like a king or queen on a throne. And they can relax and look at nature all around them. And look at that piggy, so cute. Peaceful piggies feel free like a bird and as calm as a lake or a pond on a clear, cool night. I will say, when I look out at that water, it calms me right down. How about you guys? It makes it easier to accept things that happen and stop wishing for things in your life to be different, like when you don't win a game. It makes you feel peaceful when you feel, and when you feel peaceful, you feel fearless, like you can do anything. Like even jump off the high dive. Have you ever done that, my swimmer? No? One day, right?
Maybe.
Best of all, when you're feeling peaceful, you like who you are just the way you are. Do you like you? Do you like you? Mm-hmm. Me too. And you like you at home. It's easier to face the truth about yourself. Like when you did something in the day and you lay in your bed and you think, I wish I didn't do that. And inside you might say, I'll say sorry tomorrow. I was mean to her. Everybody has those days. So it's good to be peaceful. And easier to stand up to others and take good care of your friends. Friends forever, right? And take care of your enemies too, even when you don't feel like it. Because peaceful piggies try to be loving and kind to all beings. Even worms. I don't know if I've ever been kind to a worm. Have you guys? When you slow down, peaceful piggies notice all the magical things in the world, especially nature. The way clouds tell silent stories, and the way birds sing songs just for you. Having a peaceful place inside helps keep a happy heart happy, so that even on a horrible, painful, disgustingly rotten day, and everybody's had those, right? A peaceful piggy can always still smile. I think that might be my favorite page. What do you think? Mm-hmm. I feel pretty relaxed, girls. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think it's time for some ice cream. Let's go. You know, we spent a lot of time talking about what goes on around the water for fun, but we haven't spent any time talking about what actually lives in the water of a lake. What animal do you think lives in water of a lake? I bet that you guessed fish. And if you did, you're right. Let's talk a little bit about fish, shall we? I Like Fish by Margaret Weiss Brown. I like fish. Silverfish, goldfish, blackfish, old fish, young fish, fishy fish, any kind of fish. A fish in a pond, a fish in a stream, a fish in the ocean or a lake, a fish in a dream. This is a fish. And you can see a fish has many different parts, just like we have many different parts. Some of the fish's parts are just like ours. Can you spot any? We have eyes, don't we? We have an eye just like a fish so that we can see all the beautiful things around us in the world. And the fish can see all the beautiful things around them in the water under the lake. So that is the fish's eye. So I'm going to put that right there. That says eye, and it's pointing right to the fish's eye. Do you see something else that we have the same? A mouth, very good. And what do we use our mouth for? We talk, right? And we eat. And that's the same thing a fish does. A fish maybe doesn't talk so much, although some fish can make noises. And maybe that's how they communicate. But they don't say the same words we do, right? But they do eat food. Mostly smaller fish, right? So we will put the word mouth right there by the mouth. Now, as you can see, the fish has a lot of parts that we don't have. I think everything left pointing on this fish are things people don't have. Let's talk about what they're called and what they do. So the first thing I see on the back of the fish is a tail, okay? And the tail is used to, if you do this with your hands in the water, it would help you push the water right back and forth. So the fish uses that tail to push forward through the water or propel through the water. So it's really important they have a tail so they can swim fast when they need to. Besides swimming fast, they need to steer right where they want to go. In a car or a bicycle, we have a steering wheel, right, to help us to go where we want to go. But the fish has a built-in steering wheel. They use their fins, and they have several different fins that help them steer and go in the direction that they want to go. Up, down, left, right, all around, sideways, okay? So these are all the fins. This fish has one top fin, one bottom fin, and even a fin right here on its side. And then there's one on the other side too. Another thing I see on a fish that we don't have are these little tiny scales. Those scales cover the fish's skin. They help protect its skin, and they also help it sleek so it can really glide through the water. Usually the scales are what make the fish so pretty. They reflect the light. And they all have their own unique color skin, just like we all have our unique color hair and skin and eyes on us. And the last part on this fish is this round thing right here. And that's called a gill. And the gill helps the fish take the water in its mouth and breathe oxygen so it can stay under the water. And that's what that gill helps it do. So we will put that right there. We can't breathe under the water, right? No, we can't, because we don't have gills. We take it in with our nose and our mouth. You know, there's a lot of really interesting fish that live in Lake Erie. I want to show you some of the most popular kind. Maybe you've seen them before. Or maybe you've even eaten them in a restaurant before. Let's check them out. This is a yellow perch. There's lots and lots of yellow perch in Lake Erie. And something interesting about yellow perch is they have teeny, teeny, tiny little teeth in their mouth right there. This is a smallmouth bass. Check out all the scales they have. They're so colorful. They live about 5 to 10 years in the Lake Erie. Check out this super cool fish. This fish is called a sturgeon. Sturgeons like to live at the bottom of the lake where it's very dark and deep. They have these super cool feelers up near their mouths. Scientists say that these fish were probably alive during the time of the dinosaurs. How cool! Check out this fish. This fish is called a walleye. Walleyes are really delicious to eat, and they have very sensitive eyes. They're sensitive to sunlight, so they prefer darker waters or choppy waters where they can see better to hunt. Those were just a couple of the really awesome fish that live in the lake. It's really fun to learn about them and look at pictures. But I just remembered I have a friend who loves to fish. I'm going to give him a call and see if he has any fish that he'd like to share with us. I'll be right back. So my friend Otto said he would be happy to stop by and talk to us about fish. So I'm just waiting for him to finish up his lunch and head over. So, oh, here he is now.
Hi,
hey,
Tara.
Otto.
How you doing today?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Good. So I was telling our friends at home that you really enjoy fishing. So I thought you could tell us a little bit why.
Well, fishing is very enjoyable. We're very lucky around here because we have one of the best Great Lakes on the entire 5 of them. And the fishing is absolutely fantastic. It's very fun to be out in nature. It's very fun to catch fish, and I enjoy it.
Nice. I see you brought a couple things with you today. So what do you have there?
This is one of my favorite fishing rods. I use this for perch. I've caught a few walleye on it before. But this one here I just had for a long time, and I really enjoy using it.
Maybe that's the lucky one.
That might be my lucky one.
That might be the lucky one. There you go. What else do you have there?
Oh, I have my fishing license. Everybody that fishes after a certain age needs a license, and the money from the licenses goes to taking care of the water that the fish live in. So it's a good thing.
It sure is. That sounds great. Yeah, I see you brought a special fish with you. Would you mind sharing it with us?
I take it everywhere with me.
That's awesome.
Sure.
Do you want to see it at home? All right, we'll head over and check it out.
All right.
Let's go. So this is the fish that you take everywhere, Otto?
Yes, it is. This is a walleye.
Why don't you tell everyone at home a little bit about this walleye?
I was perch fishing in Lake Erie, just outside of the channel, and I latched onto this, and it gave me one heck of a fight. Took me a while to get it on board, but when I did land it, I realized that it was an exceptional fish, very large walleye, and I decided that I was going to, for memories, put it on the wall.
That's awesome. You know, we were talking a little bit about the walleye before you got here, and we were mentioning that its eye, there was something unique about its eye. Do you want to share with everyone at home what you know about its eye?
It got its name from its eye. They call them walleyes, and basically they live in deep water where it's extremely dark. They can't see real well. Most fish can, but this one here is exceptional. It's got very good vision in very dim lit water, which it makes it a very good survivor.
Very good. And I see it has teeth, and we learned about a fish. Do you remember the name of that little fish that had the little teeth? The yellow perch. Very good. And then when Otto brought this up, he told me something that I never knew that I learned today.
The walleye and the perch are related. They came from the same family. It's just the larger version of a perch that has evolved. That's
pretty neat.
Yes.
They both live in the same lake, so they're like cousins.
They're like cousins.
Yeah, very good. Okay, and we also learned about the parts of a fish, so I thought maybe we could go over that together.
Sure.
Okay. So do you remember at home that there are 2 parts on a fish that are very similar to people? The eye and the mouth. That's right, the eye and the mouth. So we already talked about the eye and a little bit about the mouth. So that's where they are in the fish. And I could see with those teeth, he probably does his catching and eating with those nice little sharp teeth in there,
Yes, he does.
Yep. And then Otto's going to go over all the parts of the fish that are not like people, you and I at home.
Well, fish have a few basic parts. These are the gills right here. The gills the fish use to pick up water and get oxygen out of the water. Basically, that's how they breathe. These are the fins on top here. They use those to steer as they're propelling themselves through the water. Their propulsion comes from their tail, which is like a propeller on a motorboat. And basically, they're covered with scales, which make them glide through the water very, very smoothly, and it protects them from other predator fish.
Very good.
So,
yeah, he's a beauty.
Yeah, it was a very nice fish. I was very, very happy to have caught him.
It makes me almost not want to eat them. Almost.
They're so good.
Oh, they're so delicious, and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Right. It's a very sustainable fishery. The lake probably has more walleye right now than at any time ever in history.
That's really exciting. Well, we do appreciate your coming by and sharing your knowledge.
I appreciate being here, and I enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
There's so many things to learn from so many special people out there in the world if you just ask, right?
That's right.
Ask and learn. That's what makes life exciting.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Otto. I hope you have a good day.
Very nice seeing you again, Tara.
Bye. Bye, Otto. I'm having so much fun learning so many things about the lake that I thought it'd be fun to create a craft with you at home to help us remember this special time together. So I have my big bowl of sea glass that I collected with the girls, and I have my diagram of a fish. Let's put them together and see what we can create. So this craft is quite easy, but also can be quite beautiful when finished to display somewhere. So all you really need is some paper and something to draw with and some glue, and then either the beach glass you collected, and if you couldn't find any beach glass, you could always find some, collect some rocks that you found at the beach. Either one will work. So for this, I just drew some fish on. This is the simplest of the crafts. I drew a couple fish on in a group, and a group of fish is called a school. And then what you want to do is just pick out different sizes of beach glass to match each fish. So if you have a large fish, you could glue a large piece of sea glass on it. And if you have a medium-sized fish, you could glue a medium-sized piece of sea glass on it. And then if you have a smaller fish, you could glue a smaller piece of sea glass. And you can try to match all the different pieces. And then if you wanted to make bubbles or sea plants or anything, it looks so pretty when you hang them up. Okay, so that's one version. All right, now if you want to try to get a little more detailed and combine the things that we learned today, you could have someone draw you a fish and write down all the parts of the fish like we learned together. Or you could write them down if you know how to write your letters. And you could glue different parts of the sea glass around the different parts of the fish. So what you could do is on the back, you could try to find one that's shaped like a tail, and you can glue it on the tail there. And then you could find one that looks like a fin, and you can glue it up there where the fin are. There's another fin. And then you could find a nice little one here for the eye, and then maybe kind of a curved one here for the gill. And then the scales, you can put a whole bunch of little ones on there for different colored scales. So you could fill one in that way too. And then if you really want to challenge yourself, you could draw yourself a blank fish, and you could see if you can remember all the parts of the fish that we learned and glue them on without any directions. So if you remember what's up here that they need to see, just like us, you and I, right? The eye. And then you could glue something on there for their mouth, right? And then for their fin, let's make this one a brown fish. We'll use all the brown ones for this one. And if you have enough, you could do all three crafts, depending on how many pieces you found or how many rocks you collected. And we'll give this fish a brown tail. Here we go. And did you remember what's down here? Another fin, right? Another fin down here. And this is the gill, right, where the fish breathes. So we need another little fin right there. And then I think the only thing we're missing is scales. So I found a bunch of teeny tiny little pieces I could glue on there for scales. And you see how magically our fish is appearing, right? And if you have a whole bunch, you could put scales all over the fish. It'd be so pretty. I think really all three of these crafts would be pretty. So it's just a fun way to practice and a fun way to create. Such a fun craft and so easy to make. If you want the directions, just go to WQLN.org and log on to Homeroom, and you'll find the directions there and pictures of how to make the craft. I had another super fun day learning with you at home today. It was so fun learning about a lake and the 5 Great Lakes. Do you remember their names? Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Lake Superior. And I'm lucky enough to live near Lake Erie, and I got to share with you how wonderful it is to live near a lake. I hope that someday you get to go out and enjoy a lake. Because think of all that we've learned today. We got to collect beach glass. We got to meditate with our friends near the beach and feel what it's like to relax inside in nature. Then we got to come back and we got to learn about different fish that live in the lake. There are many fish, but we got to learn about 4 different ones. And then we explored the different parts of a fish's body. And then we were lucky enough to have my friend Otto stop by and share with you his real walleye that he caught in the lake. I am so happy that you are here with me today, and I cannot wait to work together again to learn something new. So until then, I hope that you keep reading, keep learning, and as always, keep watching WQLN, where we bring learning to life with you at home together. Until next time.